are great.
Yeah, look, we make the best out of everything. We just wing it around these parts.
That's the hope. Unfortunately, winging it sometimes turns us into Icarus. So sometimes it works, sometimes it
True.
doesn't.
Sometimes I fly right into the sun, not close. I choose to go right into the sun.
Every once in a while, you just gotta send it, and those sending moments are perfect.
Exact. Exactly. I 100% agree. Oh, good.
Parents of children abused or parents of children who play Roblox.
I'm okay. Can
If
I
your
not get
child
this
was
ad right
sexually
now, please? Thank you. All right,
A
there we go.
mood. True mood.
Hi, Barnett. Welcome in. Did you want to do shared chat, by the way?
Yes, I am knocking on your door right now.
If you guys didn't know, by the way, Possum doesn't exactly just knock on doors. He actually kicks it open like the FBI. It's amazing.
It's true. It's true, actually.
But let me make sure I've got everything where it needs to be. I take notes on Me 6, so I had to make sure that
It's all good.
I've heard of other streamers using like, hi guys, welcome in. I've heard of other streamers using like their own personal discords, and I'm like, that's smart, but I'm lazy. I
I'm
don't want to
not
do all
smart.
that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either. I'm not, and I'm not. I resent the accusation that I might be smart. I'm very smooth brained. Okay.
No, Possum, you're very smart. I mean, you're a possum that figured out how to use a computer. That's pretty admirable. You have to give yourself that.
Possible when you have enough string cheese and lube and grape soda.
We're talking about string cheese and lube. Okay, this is already up to an amazing start.
Well, like lube for a car, not what? Huh?
And close enough. Close enough. Close enough. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And hi, Rico.
And thank you for slapping me with cheese. I kind of deserved that.
You know, it's all subjective. It's all subjective. Let me move myself down a little bit.
True.
Okay. So, I think I should be good to just move it straight over now. Let me... Do you use studio mode, by the way?
Do I use what?
Studio mode for OBS? It is the best thing. I swear.
Sometimes.
Alright, I am going to take off my jacket and pull out my knife.
I'm going to take away the cheese because chat got cheese stuck to my face now. Now it must go. Now it must go away. Just chat threw cheese at my face. Hang on.
It's okay.
And it won't go away. There we go. Now it's gone.
It's
Sorry,
perfect.
chat. No cheese.
But
no, not small.
Possum, would you like to introduce yourself? I mean,
sure.
If you guys don't know Possum at this point, I mean, what are you doing?
I mean, I'll even take my wizard drip off for a second. No, that's my trash can. No, that's my controller. There we go. Hi, I'm the Awesome Possum. I am your resident trash-dwelling marsupial VTuber. I wear a variety of different costumes. I like to play a variety of different games. I like RPGs. I like indie games. I'm an 18+ streamer, but not in an NSFW way. And I'm very laid back and chill for the most part.
Absolutely, he is. This is, for my personal introduction for Possum, this is Possum. This is someone I found during an opening shift at like 10 or 11 a.m. Possum is someone I look up to very much. He is probably one of my Oshis, and by probably, I mean definitely, and is paving the way for more wholesome VTubers on the site that can still manage between 18 plus and being an absolute gremlin. It is... He's one of the best people I know, and that's not me like trying to blow smoke up his, you know, but great dude, absolutely love him. If you don't already follow Possum, please go ahead and do that.
Yeah, same for my chat. If you guys don't know who Happy is, please go give Happy a follow. We've known each other for a while now. Happy was actually the first interview I ever got, and I was happy to say yes and honored to be picked to be your first re-interview. Yeah.
You were honestly one of the first people that came up because I'm like, we had to cut our interview short, but that was because
We
time
did.
constraints. But
Yeah.
you went and got, I think it was like Taco Bell or Waffle House afterwards, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Taco Bell, because Waffle House was kind of far.
Yeah, I think Possum is also one of the only people I've ever interviewed that saw a car lit on fire at a Waffle House.
Yeah, that's actually true. The story behind that, there was an ex. I was it was like 2 a.m., 1 a.m. at a Waffle House. It was me and a bunch of my friends. I was usually always the designated driver. I usually never got drunk. So I'm like shepherding them, getting some food in their belly. Trying to like sober them up a little bit. It's what you should do when you're going out drinking. Yeah. The waitress that we had, she was the waiter. No, it was not the waitress. It was the chef, the head chef, who I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Waffle House. For those of you in Europe, here's the thing about Waffle House: it's a magical place, kind of like Narnia, except if Narnia had a massive meth addiction and was like 2 steps away from getting into like a Smash Brothers style brawl at all times. And the head chef, like if you go into a Waffle House and your shoes are sticking to the floor and the head chef's got a cigarette in the side of his mouth, and he's making your food,
and your server has a bulletproof vest, yeah, you're doing something great.
You're in a good Waffle House. So the head chef apparently was cooking our food, and this lady started screaming outside, and like I think this dude had like some kind of pickup truck. I can't remember what kind it was. This lady outside started like beating the crap out of his car with a hammer, and then like a big hammer, and then covered it in gasoline and then lit it on fire. Meanwhile, we're all just sitting in here like, cool, medieval times was closed, but I guess we still get dinner and a show because we were just kind of like hanging out and taking this all in. But yeah, that literally started a bonfire. Guy had to run outside and call the police, and yeah, good times. Classic Waffle House.
Yeah, that's funny enough, not even the craziest story I've heard about a Waffle House, but it's certainly up there. It's certainly up there.
It's definitely up there. Waffle House is I know people stereotype it. It's usually not as insane, but that is definitely probably one of the most insane things I've ever seen at a Waffle House.
Give me 1 second. I forgot my energy drinks. My model will lag out for a second.
No, it's all good. I'll take a sip of my soda here.
In preparation for this event, I bought
Tasty.
2 monsters.
I do not drink energy drinks. That is, I made that mistake once. Never again for me, at least.
I have the ADHD where caffeine actually calms me down. So
I used to. Yeah.
Here's the fun thing about me and Possum. We both have ADHD. But the funniest thing about it is we have such wildly different versions of ADHD where it's like caffeine, as long as I drink it throughout the day, not all at once, I won't get any heart palpitations. But I will also ramble on for hours on end. I spent 40 minutes at work talking to a buddy one time because he asked me about Alan Wake.
Oh, yeah, the game? Yeah.
That was 2 days ago.
Oh, you just went and like on a wild diatribe on Alan Wake. You got your ADHD hyperfocus like mouth vomit.
Dude, he asked me like, so what's American Nightmare about? And I'm like, oh boy, do I have a story for you.
Oh, he made a mistake. You don't do that.
Oh yeah, you never ask about the hyperfixations. It's not gonna go well.
Never. It never does. Unless your idea of a good time is like 4 to 6 hours of lore dump. Like me with Elder Scrolls, yeah, you don't do that.
Okay, I have to ask this since you brought it up. Did you play Oblivion Remastered?
I did play Oblivion Remastered, and it was incredibly refreshing. I think I was telling my chat about this earlier. The happiest part for me for the Oblivion Remaster was the fact that a lot of people who had never played Oblivion, but they had played Skyrim and didn't understand why people were so criticizing Skyrim, were finally like, okay, we finally get why people were mad about Skyrim and like Oblivion so much.
I look at it the same way I look at Fallout 4. I'm like, look, if you want
Mhm.
to get into something, play Oblivion or play Fallout 4 because it is
Mhm.
baby's first Elder Scrolls and baby's first Fallout.
It really is, honestly.
Like, if you want to get into the Elder Scrolls games, play Skyrim. Do not go with the older games. You do not want to start off with stuff like Daggerfall, where it'll take you 2 actual weeks
No.
IRL to get across that map. You don't want to play
Yeah.
Morrowind. Once you find that bag of wind, you are going to have the worst
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, they haven't aged. I mean, I don't mind Morrowind, but it definitely nowadays probably, unless you're like good with like classic RPG experiences that are kind of clunky and janky, I would not play Morrowind as your first Elder Scrolls.
I'm the same way with the original Fallouts. I'm like, Fallout 1 and 2 are lore dumps galore. You will love it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already into the lore. If you're not, you're going to have the
Exactly.
worst time imaginable.
Exactly. No, I 100% agree.
I feel like we've done a long enough intro. Let's get straight to it. Let me make sure my
Yeah, let's
music-
avoid the ADHD hyperfixation vomit because we'll be here for like 6 hours or so.
Oh yeah, dude, my longest interview was 6+ hours because we just kept going. Hi,
Holy.
Fluffly.
Hell, I wish I had 6 hours. I'll be watching sumo after today. So
Hey, there we go. Okay, so
yeah.
how have things been for you since we last talked?
Honestly, it's been like what, a year and a half since we last talked, I would say.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to summarize. Last year for me was, I think every VTuber kind of experiences a point in time in their overall kind of like, I don't want to use career, but like career where they just have like a really rough year. And that's the one that they kind of remember first and foremost. For me, my year 3 was probably my hardest year as a VTuber. Simply because I had to adapt to a new job and a new house, and just a ton of stuff happened in my outside the trash can life that necessitated me making sacrifices to stream a little bit and not being as consistent as I would like. But I had a lot of great things happen last year too, so not all melodrama, mostly me just acknowledging, last year was a struggle, and to be nicer to myself about it.
There you go. That is one
Yeah, how about
thing-
you?
That is a very loaded question. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Personally, professionally, it did very well. I grew a lot as a streamer. I had multiple deaths I had to deal with towards the end, towards the beginning of 2025, and that just
Okay.
tanked the entire year. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do the celebration of life rather than the grief of death. We're gonna have fun with it,
Yeah.
and I can
yeah,
make
you know,
jokes about
that's-
it.
No, yeah, I am very, I wouldn't say I'm sensitive to that sort of thing, but everybody processes grief differently. So, I'm a very jokester when it comes to processing grief personally, because I try to laugh, right? And remember
yeah.
the happy moments and the goofy moments, and gallows humor. That's like I'm a dark humor kind of person. But everybody processes it differently.
One wellness check for the both of us. All right, Possum, we have to wellness check real quick. Hi, Matt. Good to see
Okay.
ya. There's another trash can in chat.
Hi.
That is actually the internet's favorite trash can because I lost that title this year.
Oh, how'd you lose that title?
I arranged
well,
a
you
court
changed mine.
case, and I lost my own court case.
You lost your own court case. Explain.
So, do you want to see the courtroom real quick?
Sure. I'm looking over at your stream.
Let me. So, welcome to court. This is VTuber court. We also have
Okay.
a place for courtroom character witnesses. The
I'm
background's
okay to be
missing
on the
right now.
prosecution side.
Yeah, you are, in fact. Let me get us back to the interview screen. I set up a court case to see who would be crowned the internet's favorite trash can, and I lost the court case that I had arranged. I got outvoted by a jury because I kicked out. Yes,
Okay.
Mac. Yes.
Okay.
But no, this year, So going back on the dark humor thing, I've had it hiding them. I've had it in my mind to make a T-shirt, like my first bit of merch. I want it to be my uncle died and all I got was this T-shirt. I would love something like that. But I've done a lot of fun stuff in 2025, like the court case that took several months to do. Like just arrange, get everyone available for it. The timing was the worst part, and many interviews. I had a lot of fun clippable moments from that. It was a 2025 was the most mixed bag I've ever had, but
I
I'd do
feel like it
again.
was that for a lot of VTubers, I would say. It was either mixed or from what I gather talking to a lot of folks, it was largely negative for a lot of VTubers for a variety of reasons.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we lost so many VTubers this last year. Like it felt like
We
March to
did.
April was just all graduation. And I'm like, yo, what is going on?
I think there's a reason for that. I
Yeah.
think we saw the end of like the big COVID VTuber boom personally. And I think a lot of people don't realize that VTubing is a bit of a luxury, right? Like having a
100%.
model, having your own custom model at least, and having assets and like even just the time aspect of it. It is 100% a luxury. And I think like with VTubing Studio and so many artists like trying their hand, like after seeing so many of the big VTubers that boomed in 2021, a lot of people, the reality kind of hit, in my opinion. Like people started scaling, getting bigger and brighter things, and like it became harder for like indies to keep up with like the massive indies. And I think a lot of people just got discouraged, or they came into VTubing with like unrealistic expectations. You know what I mean? Like they thought, oh yeah, I'll just immediately get like 500 viewers because VTubing's the hot freshness, and I've got a model that is very unique, but believe it or not, a lot of people just didn't have anything that was separating them too much from the rest of the pack. And you know, reality hits, and you know, you're not as big as you think you're going to be.
So funny enough, that does go into one of my questions. It's about
Mhm.
I want to say 75% of the way through, but I think this is a
Mhm.
great way to section into it. Do you have any plans to revisit your PowerPoint presentation for VTubing with your growing audience?
Uh, Probably not. And I'll explain why. I think personally, a lot of my opinions with VTubing are number one, it was that they were actually a little controversial, or at least some of the responses that I gave actually netted me some very concerned messages. And there were some people who I think rightfully said, like, you know, Possum, you're not a very large VTuber yourself. And I would counter that by saying, yes, I'm not, but I have a very healthy, you know, sized audience. I have I have done things that I think a lot of people can, not a lot of VTubers can say that, you know, they've done what I've done. I've been able to be on the news in Detroit, and I've talked with some celebrities. Like it's not something that every VTuber can say. So while I'm nowhere near, you know, the bigs like Iron Mouse, or even, nor have I hit Twitch partner, I would say like I've done some things right, and some of my experiences are valid. And my whole reason for doing that in the first place was I just want to help people avoid some of the mistakes I did starting out, you know.
100%.
Because I made many, but I don't think that I would necessarily do briefs like slides again. I think if anything, I would maybe do like shorts here and there, helping people avoid some of those common pitfalls. And I feel like I would always caveat with, you know, my experience is going to be different from your experiences when it comes to VTubing.
Oh, 100%. You and me occupy very different spaces.
We
As
do.
you occupy a very wholesome space where I eat candles. Just to throw that out there.
But eat candles if somebody offered them to me, but chat says no. We got kicked out of Yankee Candle and Bed Bath and Beyond, Possum. Now you can't have any candles.
I mean, if you put a candle on your throne, I will gladly
Exactly.
buy you one to try out.
I literally can't have any nice candles anyway because kitties scented candles are not good for kitties, sadly.
Unfortunately, yeah. That's why for
Unfortunately.
my cats, I keep them as far away from the scented candle as possible because I did get a new cat in the last 6 months. His name is Aesop.
Congratulations.
He tries to eat my candles, and I'm like, Aesop, you
Yeah.
cannot be doing this. These are not edible, buddy.
Well, his name's Aesop. He's trying to tell you the moral of the story, and that's don't eat scented candles.
Look, man,
Living up to his name.
I had to, you know, I made a promise, and the first candle I ate was awful. The second one was pretty good. I wish I was joking.
Okay, I can say this. This is like my chat and your chat might look at me kind of weird for this. I used to, and I don't know if this was an ADHD thing or me just being really weird. I used to really enjoy, you know how when a candle's burning, it's got like really hot wax at the base of it.
Stick your fingers in it.
Yeah. How did you know?
I still do that. Like, I still do that. I will set it up, and I will stick my finger in, let it dry, stick it in, and I'll just have that little, like, stalagmite coming off the finger, and it's just, I don't know. I think it's just an ADHD thing.
I used to dip like my whole finger. Wait, you all did that too? Okay, now I feel fucking vindicated. We're vindicated, Happy.
I was like, that was cool. Okay, here's the thing. I'm still a little different because I've eaten candles.
Well, I haven't eaten candles. I can safely say I haven't done that, but I definitely have dipped my hands in hot wax.
Okay.
And for some reason, my brain was like, yes, this is enjoyable. Let's keep doing this.
It's not hot enough to make you uncomfortable, but it is hot enough to where you pause for a second. You're like, that does kind of burn. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm going to do it again. It's like my brain's just like, every logical part of my brain is saying I shouldn't be doing this, and this serves no purpose in me doing it, but I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm sorry, Super, do you used to eat Play-Doh?
Wait, what? I mean, you know what?
It's super salty.
It is actually very salty. I've actually tried it too.
Why
I'm not
do we
gonna
both
lie.
know that? Like,
I feel like it just comes with the
memory.
territory. I think for like most people, if you just you see like, oh, it's red and it's soft. Clearly it must taste like strawberry. It does not taste like strawberry.
No, it does not. It's bad. The flavor is all bad.
Yeah, it's all bad.
All right. Okay. So the reason I bring up the PowerPoint presentation is there's so many things from that, and I still had like I think under 200 followers when I saw that video, or not that video, that stream.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was sitting in the back office before they installed the camera, watching the stream, and I was like, you have a better chance of winning the lottery than you do blowing up as a VTuber. That's one that stuck with me. And if you last longer than a year, you are still beating out, what was it, like 75% of most streamers, let alone VTubers?
Yes.
And I tell my friends those metrics, and I'm like, dude, if you've made it this far, you are still very high up in your numbers. You're doing better than you think you are. If you're streaming to more than 3 people, you are in the top 5%. If you're streaming to over 10 people, you're in the top 1%.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, my eye was itchy.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, and that still rings true even today. I still talk to a lot of my peers. I talk to people who are much bigger than me, and people who are, you know, smaller than my community. But the universal thing that I tell anybody is, if you are still in this a year later, congratulations. You've already, like, the average common burnout points for VTubers is 6 months and 2 years. And if you can last longer than that, odds are you're gonna last until you just decide, I just don't want to do it anymore for whatever reason. But something that I've told a lot of VTubers recently who were considering, you know, graduating or no longer doing it, you should not measure success. And everybody's going to tell you this. You shouldn't measure success by comparing yourself to others.
Absolutely.
If you have a happy community, pun not intended, if you have a happy community of people who enjoy seeing you, and like you can tell, like they tell you like, hey, I'm having a bad day, or whenever I have a bad day, I can see your stream and just be like considerably happier. That is how you should measure success, by like the impact that you have for others. And
Oh,
like
absolutely.
making small little micro reasonable goals that are how you measure success. Because even like earlier, like even what I just said, like you might see that I didn't say like, you know, larger, quote unquote, more successful, because success should be measured differently for each and every person.
Exactly. Like, for instance, if you want to become a VTuber and you're checking your own progress, check it against yourself. Like, that is the
Yeah, check
best
it
thing
against
you can
yourself.
do. If you're trying to like, I have buddies that are like, "Oh, how are you doing this? Like, what do I need to change?" I'm like, "Nothing, dude. What I do is not what you should do because I've made a ton of mistakes. So don't worry about it. What I'm doing is probably the dumbest possible thing I can. I'm eating candles on
But if it
stream.
works for you, yeah, if it works for you, like that's the thing. And if it makes you happy and it makes the people around you happy, that's a success. You know that it's you should, like, as I said in the slides, like most of us, 99% of the 99% of the VTubers out there, we're never gonna hit it to the level of like Iron Mouse or Zentreya or many of those big names. We're not going to.
Oh yeah.
And even if you do, congratulations, you've won the lottery and you've hit upon like a very core niche. And it's harder. It's actually surprisingly harder to reach that level of VTuber now. And even amongst VTubers, a lot of those big VTubers will actually tell you that they in some of their own measurements fall shorter against many of the big just content creators in general. So you should not beat yourself up if like you start VTubing and you know you're trying to measure yourself against, you know, Twitch partners and huge VTubers, because like realistically none of us are ever going to reach that mark. It's really just finding contentment with what you've managed to achieve on your own merits. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I like what Petrichor
Exactly,
said as well.
Petrichor.
There's always a bigger fish. Like, if you're looking at
Exactly.
it, oh, I'm not the biggest like streamer on Twitch. You're never gonna be happy. You're never gonna be satisfied.
No.
Be satisfied with
No.
what you have.
Exactly.
Kind of,
And as go ahead.
leading in from that. If I compare myself against Possum here, yeah, I'm not gonna feel very good. But I also have to take into account Possum has the experience. He has the wisdom. He's done all of these different things. And like I said earlier, we don't inhabit the same spaces. It wouldn't be fair to myself
No.
or to Possum to compare ourselves.
Yeah, there's so many different advantages and disadvantages that I have realized that comes from VTubing. So, you know, I'm gonna get the cat out of the bag and just like, yes, there is an advantage to be a feminine presenting VTuber compared to being a male presenting VTuber. There is an advantage to that there, but being a feminine presenting VTuber comes with its own set of unique challenges. It's not to say that, oh, like it's so easy being a feminine presenting VTuber. No, what I'm saying is your larger audience as a VTuber, most of the audiences are male, and they usually want to watch a more feminine presenting VTuber. Like that's just the reality. That is literally true, according to Twitch metrics. There's also different other different advantages. Like if you pick a more traditional like cartooning model, for example, compared to anime, that's another disadvantage that you're you know, attaching to yourself. If you try to be say so versus, you know, 18 plus, being a say so VTuber is harder than being an 18 plus streamer. It's just those are the you attack on different little things that if your goal is to grow, it's not impossible. It's never nothing's impossible, but if your goal is to grow quote unquote large, it's just going to make your journey a little bit harder and definitely take longer.
100%. And like, kind of going off the back of that too. Even if you gain more traction as a more feminine presenting VTuber, not all attention is good attention. Even
No.
as an incubus, like this is my current model. This is just modifications made to a customizable model. This isn't a custom model. I have gotten some unsay-so pictures in my DMs.
Yeah, I believe it or not, same with me as Possum. And I have to remind people, bro, I'm literally a possum on the internet. I'm why are you sending me this stuff? Because it makes me like very uncomfortable. You know, I'm 18 plus now, but like I'm not NSFW, right? So
So, real quick, just to address this one, Aster Seiso, Seiso, is basically wholesomeness. So you could be
yeah,
unwholesome or you could
wholesome
be wholesome.
streamer.
Um,
Yeah.
where Possum usually lies in the more wholesome side of things, he also does 18 plus. I am not the exact opposite, but pretty damn close, I will say. Um, so the fact that we've both gotten these means that people are wild. People are wild.
People are wild. Yeah. And you have to think of yourself as a VTuber. You are a public, you know, you're a public figure. And whenever people on social media, they'll view you as a nail that's sticking out, and they're gonna look at you, they're gonna hammer you down in a bunch of unpleasant ways sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I've gotten hate messages. I've gotten, you know, very nasty things sent my way, and I just ignore it. Like it's just normal for this space. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that you kind of attract with being any kind of content creator, sadly.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, but this isn't this. I know we're focusing a lot on the negative things here, y'all, but on the positive side of things, we also do have like those are just interactions that have stuck with us. We also have very positive
Exactly.
interactions that stuck with us.
Exactly.
I actually wanted to ask you about that as well. Since the last time we talked, has there been a particular chat message or a DM that you've gotten that really stuck with you in a positive light?
Yeah, I think literally what I told you earlier. I mean, my mods, shout out to my mods. Some of them I lean on more than others when it comes to sharing. Like when I have moments where, you know, I doubt myself, and they're usually the ones who slap me and say, "You're fine, shut up, like it's all in your head." But I have had multiple instances where my viewers have DM'd me, and the common thing that I hear sometimes is I could be, and sometimes they just come into my chat and say like, I've been having a really bad time lately, and just watching you keeps my mind off of that, and you always have something positive to say. And if I was having a bad day and I said as much in chat, you would be the first one to kind of like drop what you're doing and, you know, tell me that everything's going to be okay. And that is why I became a VTuber. I always wanted to have a positive space in regards to like mental health and just being a positive figure, especially in a space where I think now more than ever, there's just a lot of drama and negativity, and I want to stand beyond that if I can.
100%. I mean, I see you on Twitter every once in a while, replying to stuff. So that means you and me inhabit the same space. It has been wild the last 6, 8, 10, 12 months.
Yeah, 2025 was like a really bad span, I would say. When people are going after Iron Mouse, of all people, who is just consistently wholesome and does great things for the VTuber community and is just like a great representative for it, and they're just finding any reason to try to go after her, of all people, it just tells me that, like, look, people are going to try to bring down others no matter what they do and no matter how positive they are. In 2025 has been really no exception in terms of people just trying to drag down VTubers. And again, I'm not trying to fixate on like the negative aspects. It's just 2025, I think, was just a really hard year for VTubers in general.
Oh yeah, it hit like a brick to the teeth.
Yeah, it really did.
So it is unfortunate that that's how this year was, but thankfully there was a lot of good that came out of it as well, such as
True.
Guargura, even though she did, or I did pronounce that right? Guargura.
You can just say Gura, and I think most people would know who you are or who you're referring to.
Her leaving the larger VTubing company she was a part of. wonderful for her. I'm so fucking sorry. I'm so proud of her. I know we're
No,
okay
you
to
can
cuss.
curse.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying not to.
Yeah, I'm 18 plus now. Yeah, you can curse.
It is. It was such a refreshing bit of air to see her get away from the more corporate side. Seeing
True.
like even in 2026, seeing Vidal smash
Also
the
true.
sub goal. That was
Yeah.
amazing to see. The fact people were piling on with him was just kind of insane to me. I'm like, yeah, but it's not a corporation doing that stuff. It is one dude just having fun. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many
I
positive
would.
sides.
I was gonna say, I think 2024 and 2025, we saw this rise of the indie VTuber, where no longer was it the best option to immediately dive into being a corporate VTuber. Used to be corporate VTubers were the trendsetters. They got all the fancy things. They were definitely
Yep.
like outshining indies, had the more professional looking streams. But now we see indie VTubers easily outshining a lot of corpo ones. And it used to be like a strategy where you would start out as a corpo VTuber and then kind of stop and graduate as the corpo VTuber and kind of try to pull your audience into being an indie one. So you'd have that like little bit of an advantage.
Yep.
But nowadays, I don't think that is so much of a strategy anymore because indies are just, in my opinion, from at least from what I've noticed on the US or on the Western side of things, indies definitely outshine many of the corpo VTubers out there.
100%. And even their production quality is so much higher. I use you as an example
Yeah.
for that all the time because I'm like, your model, everything. Like, it's hard to see on Twitch itself, but on the top of Possum's head, there is the hair, but there is a slight rainbow shimmer that goes through it. I've never seen anyone else with that attention to detail. Your scene work, your audio, the amount of work you put in, even just your stinger for changing costumes. I don't see anyone else doing that. And it's amazing.
You know, I would tell you that I have worked extensively with a number of very talented people who don't get as much credit as they deserve. You know, we talk about how difficult it is being a VTuber in the space. Being an artist in the space has actually gotten incredibly hard too, in
Oh
my
yeah.
opinion. To where I think even more so than VTubers deciding they can't do it anymore, a lot of artists have kind of said, "Yeah, I can't. It's not tenable, sustainable, or financially viable for me to continue making art for VTubers or any assets in general."
Oh, absolutely.
Um, I've been very fortunate in that I've been surrounded by many great people, and it was hard. People don't realize this. Before the days of VGen, it was very hard to find reputable artists
It was
as
the
a
Wild
VTuber.
West. It was insane.
It really was. It really was. And even VGen, I can't say like VGen's like 100% reliable. Like you still deal with like, you know, people who can't do timelines and stuff, but like it's so much better compared to the sheer number of scammers that were just everywhere tearing into fresh VTubers. I mean, the first artist I ever commissioned was a scammer. So yeah, it's kind of nuts in terms of how bad it was. But yeah, I'm grateful that I have such dedicated I've had such fantastic artists. It's not cheap. I will certainly say that I've
Oh
had the advantage
no.
of like coming into this with a fair amount of cash to throw at artists. But it was what I told myself when I became a VTuber. Like compared to my first journey into becoming a content creator, where I was not a VTuber, I didn't put much effort into my audio quality, my scene quality, and all that stuff. And I said I was not going to do that as a VTuber, and I put so much effort into researching and figuring out my brand and my image and everything that I wanted to do. I spent months. Case in point, like I initially decided I wanted to be a VTuber around like August, I think around 2021. Started that journey around October of 2021, but I actually didn't debut until August of 2022. So I spent months planning and getting everything ready and researching and dealing with all kinds of folks.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing about artists as well. If we like your work, we enjoy what you do, we will keep commissioning you. I met someone almost
Yep.
2 years ago. I still commission them.
Yeah,
I would
same.
like to say I'm one of their best customers at this point, but it's really nice.
Yeah, my model mama in particular, Daimon Kisora, doesn't do VTuber models as much as she used to. Solely because she's focusing on other projects, she's focusing on herself. But I have established such a positive relationship with her over the years. I can safely say, one, she's a friend, and two, that if I need something as a VTuber, she will make that offer to me and still help me out if she can. And that is just, when you have those kinds of friendships and, good relationships with people, having that level of trust with somebody who makes your assets is huge in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's worth its weight in gold.
It really is.
And I can now, since last time we talked, I was just getting into the more nitty gritty things. I am neck deep in it now. I am planning for an August debut, and right now, I'm down 4 things on the list. I still have another 8 to go, and I'm already
I know the
about
feeling.
$2,000 into it, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna be
Yep.
so broke. All right, let's
Yep.
go.
I can safely say that when I first debuted as Possum, cover your ears if you don't want to hear this chat for at least 15 seconds. I probably spent around $8,000 total in terms of all of my
Oh, yeah.
assets. If you ask me how much I've probably spent now
I would
over
put
the
that in the
years,
ballpark of about 18 to 19.
I would probably say it's probably hovering around like 16, 17,000 in terms of everything that I've spent over the years,
Oh, yeah.
stream wise.
I remember us talking about that last time, and you said it was
Yeah.
close to about 15. So
Yeah.
I do not deny that in the slightest that you have spent. And the thing is, it's like you're in such a good position to do that. And
Yes.
honestly, I am so happy for you about that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think a big part of the VTuber space is just like you can't be envious of your neighbors. Like Possum
True.
makes really
Yes.
good money in what he does, and I'm very happy for
Yes.
him.
Thank you.
A little immersion break. I'm a cashier at a liquor store. I don't make money like that, but I can scrounge and I can get what I need to, which is why I'm planning on this August debut. I could have done it sooner, but I'm like, no, I need the extra time. I need the extra time.
Well, I would say, ironically, despite 2025 being a hard year for VTubers and a lot of VTubers coming out of it, legitimately, I think there's no better time if you're on the fence about becoming a VTuber. 2026 is unironically probably the best time to do it.
Oh yeah,
because you have so many artists available to you on VGen now, and even if you don't go with anything custom, PNG tubers are definitely, I think, more accepted nowadays. And while I will say, being a PNG tuber, I'm gonna be honest, it is a bit of a disadvantage compared to being a VTuber. But there are PNG tubers out there who are way more successful than I am because their personality shines through massively. And even if you decide you don't want anything custom, there are great public customizable models
yep.
that a lot of VTubers use, and they get a lot of traction because, again, their personality shines past. Hey, my model might look a little bit like this person over here, but my personality stands out regardless, and it's just assets are so much ironically cheaper than they were when I first started out.
I mean, the entire set that my stream is on only cost me about $10, if that. And
Yep.
I've gotten so much mileage out of this. It is insane. I would say as well, if you're looking for cheaper alternatives, Skeb. Skeb is a wonderful place.
Skeb.
I love
Yes.
Skeb.
Skeb was a late adoption for me. Skeb has its advantages and disadvantages, for sure. That you don't have communication with your artist. You can only like literally tell them this is what I need it for, and that's that factors in part of the cost as well. Yeah, Aoki, Skeb is a Japanese website that a lot of artists you basically say they'll open up commissions and they'll basically say this is the kind of art that I make. If you want a Skeb, this is how much it's going to cost. You give me a general gist of what you want. But beyond that, I have no communication with you. You take what I give you.
Yep.
If you want something modified, you got to pay extra for that. But it is another tool or place to commission. If you're okay with that, that can be really beneficial. It's actually one of the things I usually tell new VTubers. The first thing that you should work on for yourself, among anything above anything else, it should not be your model. It should be a reference sheet for what you're planning to be.
Speaking of which, I did send you in our DMs a picture of what my current model is coming out to be, and then here's the reference sheet as well.
Look at that! That looks great. You know what? That's the sort of thing that you need to be able to give to any artist, not even just Skeb. Like, you need to be able to hand something over to any artist that you're considering commissioning, because if you're becoming a VTuber, you're building a brand, and you want to make sure everybody has the same cohesive idea regarding what you're trying to do, and just handing off what your model looks like does not help. You need these are my color patterns, these are different expressions, this is the general vibe that I'm going for. Here's a side profile, here's a back profile, here's me without any shading, here's basically all of this stuff, and an image of your model doesn't cut it. You need a reference sheet first and foremost, I think.
And it'll have details that will never be seen. Like, outside of the reference sheet, no one's gonna see the back of my jacket. No one's gonna see that. The only thing that they're gonna see is the front part of me, which is perfect. I'm not too worried about that. If I ever get a 3D model, which I assume you'll someday get one, I have to assume. Most VTubers go that way.
Maybe.
2D into 3D with some variability there.
Maybe. Like, I've considered getting one or something for what's that program called? Like the chatting one where
VR
you can
chat.
chat. Yeah, VR. I've considered getting a VR chat model and hanging out with my community and stuff in VR chat. But honestly, a 3D model hasn't been a huge priority for me, because for the most part, I have such a very I'm not trying to glaze myself either. I have a very unique model.
Absolutely.
And finding somebody who can achieve the same level of quality and appeal for me that Daimon and Sapphire did for me now, it is very, very hard, if not impossible in some respects.
Oh, absolutely. And finding someone that can replicate all of the little details in that expression, like, it's really hard to get across just like how Possum's hair and everything looks. Hold on. Oh no, sorry. That was the courtroom. I was looking at it. I'm like, why are you off center? It's the studio. It's very difficult to express just how much little finite details are put into this. Like, for the shading, the rainbow in the hair, there's only one program that I can think of that would be able to replicate that, and that's Shoost. Which is mainly used for other things. That being said, I would love to see your model one day in 3D, just to see you walk around the city that has been built for you, for, like, even the background we're on now for your stream. I would love to see that one day. But that's a pipe dream.
I am currently working on a Possum 2.5 that is actually going to be a little bit more cohesive in terms of lore. And kind of build out the city vibe a little bit more. And I'm really looking forward to debuting that sometime this year, likely later this year. It's going to change quite a few things, but like a lot of the things that my community likes about the way I am now are more than likely going to remain the same.
Sorry, I'm just setting a quick marker for myself so I can go back later and send you a clip for that. And one of the other things that I would love to see is just like, I love your presentations about more of like what it means to be a VTuber, how the process worked for you, because I don't feel like there's enough talked about for that, and it's really interesting to me because it's like, yeah, it looks like all we do is set things up and then go live. No, that setup takes months.
Yeah, if you do it right, it takes months. And the thing I want to tell people is you don't need to do that much to debut as a VTuber, but every little thing that, like, if your goal is to grow a community and attract people to like want to like hang out with you, you have to realize that you're not necessarily competing with other people in terms of like, you're not really competing in the direct sense, but you are kind of competing in terms of attention.
Yes.
You need to make sure that like you're trying to make the best first impression that you can for a lot of people who are stumbling upon your stream. And the better first impression that you make, the more likely are that people are going to hit that follow button. And the better impression that you make, the more likely they are going to be to kind of hang around, right? And in my experience, when you have your emotes done already, when you have a background, when you have some transitions, when you work on your audio quality, you make sure your video quality is okay. It helps immensely in setting yourself apart from a lot of the people who don't do that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. And
exactly, Petrichor.
It's the little things you never notice, because it's like if something goes wrong, I want to say in the first 20 seconds of someone clicking on you, they're gonna click off. And that's mainly just like, if your audio doesn't sound good, if you don't have an interesting, for VTubers, it's mainly interesting model. If your tags don't work out right, it is a lot of fine tuning that gets you there. And this is like, I love talking about Possum because he did all of his preparation. I just hit the go live button one day. Like
that was not me.
Possum did all of his preparation. I just sat here and I'm like, I'm gonna try this out, and I've been working on myself consistently since then. Like my first background for interviews. I don't know if you were here for this background actually.
I was actually your interview background.
Yes,
yeah, I've been here. I was
it
here
used
for
to
that.
be rain with like it was a macro of rain hitting a puddle, and then a rain background going that I had to skip through the ads on.
I mean, like I said earlier, this isn't my first foray into content creation, and when I first became a content creator, that's what I did. I hit the go live button, and I didn't really configure any of that, and I found quickly that I drew no satisfaction in it. When you build something for yourself and when you get assets, like I said, it doesn't need to be, you don't need to break the bank, but when you get a few things for yourself and you start building out your brand and your cohesive whole, you feel better about yourself, you feel more confident in yourself as a content creator, and you set yourself apart pretty nicely, and that usually helps attract viewers to want to. All of it really comes down to your personality, by the way. I will caveat this.
Yes.
There's no amount of money that you can spend that will replace engaging with your community and learning how to entertain. Notice how I say learn, because some people will try to tell you, oh, it's just a talent, and some people are born that way. Like, sure, like some people have a more inherent talent for entertaining, but anybody can be an entertainer. And as Petrichor said, yeah, you can't. I have literally seen people spend an absurd amount of money on their models.
Oh yes.
Hire like Nanoliths or some of the other big streamers out there, or the big VTuber artists, but they are at a similar level as I am in terms of viewership. You literally cannot buy your way to success ever.
Oh, 100%. And it doesn't all have to come from streaming. Like at the end, by the way, I want to give a little bit of context to what JD just said. He's talking about Escape from Tarkov. He's talking about Tarkov.
Oh,
he didn't.
I was like effed. I was like, what is effed? I was like, well, if you're finding a GPU in Escape from Tarkov, you might actually be able to buy your way out of Tarkov, especially if you find some RAM in Tarkov.
Tarkov is so bad right now, but that's besides the point. That's
Yeah.
besides the point.
Not touching that game ever again.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about that. I have asked you if you played Tarkov, and you're like, yeah, no, yeah, no.
Never. Tarkov was one of those games that I think hit the right buttons at first for me, but the more I started playing it and the more, I hate to say it, the more popular Tarkov got, the worse it got, because sure, I really love the concept behind it in terms of like tactical, more quieter looter scavenger kind of PvP gameplay. It quickly became apparent why that can't work with things like cheaters, and certain kinds of players.
So, all right, going back. By the way, I will say this: get PvE Tarkov if you still want to scratch that itch. Way better. But
Yeah.
moving on from that, yeah, when it comes to personality and everything of that sort, you can't buy a personality. For
No.
myself, I have developed my personality, and what I do on stream is actually just an extension of my customer service personality. That is all it is. The same way you'd see me online, the same way you'd see me behind the counter. I used to be very awkward. I used to have very big problems holding eye contact with people.
Sure.
With stream, I didn't develop this through streaming. I developed it through customer service. I don't have a fancy model. I do everything myself because, like I said, I'm a cashier at a convenience store. I'm broke.
Sure.
But Possum, who has developed his personality over many years, myself, we are. This
I'm
is. Yeah, we're getting old, man.
I'm old.
How old are you now? 7, 8?
If we're going by streamer years,
About 5.
3.5. Yeah.
Oh, I was saying more for like your model. What your lore would be for that?
4. Yeah.
4. Yeah, Possum's getting old. Honestly, he might be in
I'm-
Unk status
I'm
now.
old. I have officially entered Unk status. I'm big old. You know, they're gonna be technically in Possum years. I'd already qualify for the equivalent of an AARP membership, and they'd be wheeling me out of like the All American buffet at 7 a.m.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah, I have
Possum
elder
status,
benefits.
he sits on his front porch and yells at kids to get off his lawn. They are across the street on the sidewalk.
Get off my lawn,
But
damn kids.
point of what I'm saying being, if you are not going to be able to buy yourself up to having a winning personality, this has to be perfected. It has to be worked on. Every day you get up, you can work on interacting with people and engaging with them.
100%.
Whether that be on stream, IRL. I would recommend IRL because it certainly helps being able to look people in the eye.
I mean, I still struggle with looking people in the eye, but if you put me in front of a podium, I have always been said I'm a high functioning introvert. I mean, I have some public speaking experience. I won't say where and when because I don't want to dox myself, but I have talked in the public domain before. And having that sort of experience and practice can definitely be tremendously helpful. But anybody can learn to be an entertainer. For some people, it's easier. Some people, it's harder. But never let anybody try to tell you that it's a talent that you are incapable of learning, because it isn't. Like you can learn how to be entertaining.
And a big part of that is being willing to mess up. I'm sure Possum said some
Exactly.
dumb stuff while speaking in front of people and just go, did I really just say that?
Always.
I've done that with customers in a store full
Always.
of people.
Always. I thought I had a few snafus when I was interviewing Nick Apostolides with my pal Geronimo Kiddo last month for charity. Nick Apostolides, for those of you who don't know, he's the voice actor for Leon in Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 4 Remake. I got to meet him and I got to talk to him and I got to interview him. And there were a few things that I said. I was like, "Oh, did I really just say that?" I might have pissed him off, but no. Apparently, he was totally fine with everything that I said.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm guessing being interviewed quite a few times, whether it be myself or on the news, definitely did help with conducting the interview.
I mean, it just ties back to experience and everything you do in life. When you
Don't worry, I was glazing
have when you
myself.
no, I mean, glaze yourself. I mean, I much rather prefer hearing people talk positively about themselves than hearing people talk poorly about themselves, because one of the most common things I will tell my chat, and I'll tell anybody, is you are your own worst enemy, but I simultaneously expect you to be your own biggest fan because nobody else is going to be. um and it's true. Like, you need to say good things about yourself. You need to acknowledge when you do good things. You need to acknowledge your successes and not just your failures and when you screw up. And when you start doing that little by little, not just with streaming, but like in life in general, it makes a tremendous amount of difference in your day to day.
So, kind of going off the back of that, one thing I have always wanted to ask you, just because it's burned a hole in my head for the longest time.
Okay.
How do you
Okay.
keep such a positive and wholesome, happy attitude? It is honestly one of the most admirable things about you.
I think some of my mods would tell you that they've definitely experienced me when I've been at my, like, some of my lowest points. So I'm not I don't want to establish myself as somebody who's always happy, but what I will say is that when it comes to my interactions with others and when it comes to my holistic outlook on things in general, I try to remain positive because I think deep down there's the capacity for goodness in for every individual. I think everybody has the opportunity to succeed, even though for some others it's definitely going to be harder based on their circumstances than it is for others. Um, and I think there is a ability for us to get along, and that when things are looking their darkest, I think there's always an opportunity for things to get better. Um, you know, my chat knows that I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and the Gandalf. Like, honestly, when I'm feeling down and I think like, how can I be more positive? I think about like Gandalf talking to Frodo in Moria, like when Frodo says, "I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish I'd never lived in such dark times." And Gandalf will always say, like, so does everybody who lives in such dark times. Like, nobody wants to live in bad times, right? But when you have there's something worth fighting for in this world, and there's positivity, and so many positive things in this world, and it's a very encouraging thought when you think about the goodness in others and the capacity for goodness that we all have, and it makes everything shine all the brighter. Yeah, what would Gandalf do? Pretty much, I sometimes I think to myself. So I just try to be that positive, uplifting person, because I can also empathize with people. Like, I know what it is to feel at your lowest, and if I can be that helping. There were many times in my life where I was like, I wish somebody would have been there to clap me on the back and say everything's going to be okay. So what I wish for myself, I try to give to others.
I think that's really good, and I not to point out our age gap or anything, but as you were saying that, I immediately thought of you've seen Adventure Time, right?
Yes.
I always think of the BMO quote when they're in the haunted mansion. When bad things happen, I know you want to believe they are jokes, but sometimes life is scary and dark, and that is why we
Yes.
must find the light. Like,
Yes.
there's positives in everything. You just have to know where to look, and if you don't know where to look,
Yes.
find it.
Emphasis on I can, even in times of tragedy and sadness, I can generally try to find a silver lining to things, even when some people would say it's very inappropriate for me to do so. But I've had
Gallows humor.
experiences in life. Yeah, it's gallows humor. Like, even in times where I have been at my lowest, I have found moments where I can say, well, it's taught me how to be a kinder person. Like, when I've dealt with, anti-Semitism when I was in middle school, and it, drove me a lot to depression and other bad times in my life. Well, it taught me, people deal with prejudice. Now I can empathize with them a lot stronger. Or it taught me, coping techniques when the world seems dark and when I think I'm being bullied and that sort of thing. And um, yeah, it helps out a ton when you can start seeing the silver lining in everything.
Oh, absolutely. and I have a similar experience, unfortunately. Not with prejudice or anything like that, but using life's worst aspects to really just it's kind of like a video game in that way, where you can almost see above your head, like experience gain. You're like, oh, now when this happens again, I know how to deal with it.
Speech 100. Yeah, yeah.
Um, do you mind if I get a little dark here for a second?
Oh, by all means.
So what I was alluding to earlier with my uncle's death, we unfortunately found him in his house. But as we were waiting outside for the coroner, my grandfather, who is my father figure, looked over at me and was like, "Hey, do you want to pay more in rent? Do you do you want this place?" And I just had to laugh it off and be like, "You're such an asshole. Why am I laughing
time and
right
place,
now?"
right? Why am I laughing? But like, that's
helped
the
relieve
sign
the
that's the kind
tension.
of mentality I've had too. Yeah, it's taking your mind off of the sadness and trying to focus on something positive, or bring you to a more positive time or mindset in your life.
Oh, and it was absolutely hilarious. I just had to look at him and be like, "You need to tell that joke when the coroner gets here. I swear to God, if you don't."
Yeah, I mean, I remember when my grandmother passed away, and my dad, my Papa Possum, looked at me and he's like, "You're not crying. Like, what's wrong with you? Are you just like sad about it?" It's like, well, no, it's like I process grief differently. And, you know, in a lot of ways, my grandmother was very sickly. So it's like, okay, well, she's not in pain anymore, right? And I also say, like, no, she had a fantastic life, and she had an experience that many people would envy, and you know, she lived peacefully. And you know, of course I'm sad to see her gone, but like, you know, I don't like using the term she's in a better place, but like, she lived a good life.
What a
And I
journey
was
to
more
have.
yeah, and I was more sad by my father's sadness than I was of my grandmother passing away. And it's just it's just how it's just my viewpoint in how I go about life in general.
It's not you're making fun of them, and when
No,
you crack those kind of jokes, it's more just I'm coming to grips with the best way I know how, which is making myself feel
exactly,
better through laughing, or
exactly.
as the youngins would say, shit posting.
Exactly. Like, I believe if I literally have a will, and in my will, in case something happens to me, it says if you are to call it a celebration of life, you all like I say in my will, I want you all to come with like two things of why you hated my guts, and I want you to laugh about it, and I want you to smile, because like I don't want if I want to live my life through happiness, and I want people to remember me and smile, not, you know, cry and frown.
Exactly. It's you gotta find some humor in it, and I think
Exactly.
that is a very good thing to have, especially in this day and age.
Yeah, I've joked with my Papa Possum a few times where it's like, okay, here's how I want my celebration of life to go. I want you guys to like it should be a closed casket funeral, and then like everybody thinks I'm in the casket, but here's the kicker, I'm not. And then they just lower like the lights go dim, and like rave music lights start going on, and you just hear and my body just comes floating down from the ceiling, suspended by ropes, gyrating and moving to the music.
Don't even put me on ropes. Just drop me from the roof.
just drop me from the roof to techno music, so that I can know my family is going, what the absolute fuck, to me one last time.
Yeah, I don't want you guys to be sad. I don't want gospel music playing. I want there to be a live DJ going R.I.P. happy.
Exactly.
Fuck it. Just send it.
Exactly. I want to spend like 80, like however much money, like to attract some random celebrity to come cry in the front seat of my funeral, and some random freaking strangers from like all walks of life. And people are just like, how the hell did Possum know Adam Sandler, but also just knew this random crack addict who was just like wailing in the front pew as loud as they can? Like, I want people to laugh at my celebration of life.
Why is Kim Kardashian twerking on the corpse, and why is there a crackhead just smoking crack in the corner? What's going on here?
Exactly. Why is somebody like literally doing a line of coke on my tuxedo before I'm cremated?
Like, you know what? That is a wonderful way to go out. Honestly, I love
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Like,
My uncle, before he passed away, is like happy. By the way, my chat knows my name. I'm not too worried about it. Do you mind if I use my own first name? I do want to make sure.
no, go right ahead.
He's like, Ryan, I want you to put me in a weed plant after I die. And I'm like, this is
Yeah.
very fucked up, but I'm into it. Let's do it. So
No, I mean, like, everybody wants to go out in their own way.
I don't even smoke anymore, but he's like, I want you to smoke me. And I'm like, that has a different meaning in another context. I hope you understand what you're asking of me.
Exactly.
But
It's like as Aoki said, I don't want you sad. I want you very confused. Exactly.
Highway to Hell played at the end of my uncle's funeral is very on point and hilarious. I love that for you. I genuinely love that for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when I die, don't be sad. Be confused. I did everything I wanted to, and this is the last thing I want to do. I want to make sure you leave going, what the fuck was that?
I want to be laughing from beyond the grave one last time at all of my friends and family.
I think one of my
It's the
favorite
last
ones
joke I'll
is
be able to
like,
do.
get my high school science team in here to carry my casket so they can let me down one more time.
Yeah, I would like, you know how they have that one gif of those dudes in Africa who are like
oh my
dancing
god, yes.
I want to hire those people. Like, I want them. I don't want my family to carry my casket. I want to hire those guys with like the sunglasses and the hat and the bling and have them just like dancing as they carry my casket.
Let me see if I can find that gift real quick. Yep, there it is. All right, check your DMs real quick.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what I want. I want them. That's how I want them hauling my casket.
I want the same thing, but I want them crying. Just for the vibes. Just for the vibes.
I just want people like just going for the gift, by the way, I posted in chat. I just want people going WTF like one last time and just like
Absolutely.
laughing as much as they can.
And thank you for the wellness check, Blue. Possum, quick wellness check.
Okay. Stretching, taking sippy.
I take the second to pop my back. Once I hit my age, I was like, all right, gotta pop my back. I gotta stay limber.
Limber, I mean, good luck. You're fighting against the tide. I'm lucky if I get out of bed and my knees don't try to crack like 7 to 8 different times.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm playing a game of Connect 4 with my nephew or something.
Man, anytime I get up now, I involuntarily go like, it's the worst thing.
Yeah, to quote Adam Sandler, it's like I drink a milkshake and my ass jiggles for a week.
So, one that I do want to ask you is, what was your proudest moment of 2025, whether that was personal or professional?
Ooh. You know, for all the things I said earlier about like counting your successes, I honestly getting to interview Nick Apostolides was definitely a highlight for me in terms of streaming. But I think the thing that I'm most proud of myself for is the fact that I kept going. There were a few points last year where I was like, can I keep doing this? Am I good enough? Am I capable enough? Am I actually entertaining the folks? What's wrong with me? Like, and then I stopped and I realized I have people who come in and say hi to me and tell me that I made their day better by virtue of just being there. And not a lot of people can say that. And that I stopped thinking about like, oh, if I'm not a Twitch partner, I'm not a real streamer, I don't matter. And then I just stopped caring. And when I stopped measuring myself to some arbitrary standard, like a check mark next to my name, I quickly realized how much happier streaming made me. If I hit Twitch partner, great. If not, I don't really care anymore. What makes me happy is just knowing that I make other people happy, and that kept me going.
Honestly, I really do love that for you. I think the fact you haven't hit Twitch partner, at least in my opinion, is absolutely criminal. It should have happened already, but that's just my personal belief, and that's how I look at you personally. I find you very entertaining, very fun. Like I said
you.
earlier, you have 20 seconds to catch someone's attention and keep it. You kept my attention for well over a year at this point.
Yeah, partner push TBD, as Aoki says. But honestly, I view it this way: all things happen for a reason. There are certainly things that I could do to put myself out there a little bit more and to push for partner, um, and probably potentially succeed. But what I quickly realized, anytime I did a partner push, um, I hated it, and I would make myself sad doing it if it didn't if I weren't successful. And the thing is, I also work full time, and I have a job that actually puts a roof over my head. And if I did anything more than what I'm currently doing, I'd burn myself out, and then I'd burn myself out to where I just don't have the energy to do any streaming whatsoever anymore. So it's just about pacing myself at this point. And frankly, I've had the opportunity to have conversations with um, streamers who are much bigger than I, who will be the first one to tell you that sure, being a partner opens up some opportunities for you when it comes to like going to conventions and stuff and being invited to them, but otherwise it literally does nothing for you.
Yeah, not
Like,
much
you
changes.
shouldn't care about it. Nothing really changes.
And I can gladly say this about Possum, and I'm sure other people have seen this. I'm not going to say any names because I'm not here to bag on anyone. Sometimes I've seen this happen to at least one person I used to mod for. Don't worry, that I don't talk about them anymore. No one's gonna be able to find them. Getting partner changed them. Like, they were a very wholesome, bring everyone in, let's hang out kind of person, and they immediately went corporate with it, and it destroyed them. Like, they have fallen off the map essentially, and it's one of the saddest things I've seen. So when I say I think it's criminal that you haven't hit partner, you are the most deserving person in my eyes. But again, that's just me glazing you.
Thank you. I like, me personally, I don't think I deserve anything. I think like I just want to be positive for people for the sake of being positive.
Is that a pun?
No. But like, in the subject of meeting my own Oshis, I've had my Oshis acknowledge who I am, and they know I exist. And I'm talking about, like, I've had my Oshis follow me, and literally one of them has called me out in a positive way by saying, like, they have seen me be on their Twitter feed, and they know, like, if they're going through a hard time, they know that they can find a message from me saying, I'm sorry that you're going through this. I've been there. I hope, or maybe I haven't been there, but like, I feel you. I wish nothing but the best for you. If you need somebody to talk to, hey, I'm here. Having one of my own Oshi's idols, Aoki, is what it means. Like, people you look up to in the VTubing space. The fact that I had somebody who is like very, very, I'm not going to say who they were because I don't want to try to like make it sound like I know these people really well, because I don't. But they are a very, very big VTuber, and the fact that they know who I am, and they were literally told me, like, no, I've seen you leave positive messages for me and a bunch of others, and knowing that I'm known by somebody who I look up to, and that's the kind of vibe that they get from me, means a lot.
Oh, 100%. I fully understand that. It's Possum, there are 2 times in my VTubing career, in my life, where I have almost shit my pants on stream. And you were the cause of both of them.
What? Why was I the cause of you shitting your pants?
One of them was when you raided me, because I was talking about my Oshis, and then you raided me, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, what just
Well, that's just
happened?
convenient.
What just happened? And the other time was, I didn't realize Moth had gotten a hold of you. Ether Moth, by the way, if you guys don't know, is my partner. And you left a small but very meaningful message on my Kudo board. I legit cried after stream, and I'm like,
What?
oh my god, I'm fucking tearing up now. Give me a second.
Heck, look, I will tell you guys right here and now. I have had people tell me that they view me as their Oshi, and sometimes I'm just like, bro,
Oh yeah, I did it like 30 minutes ago.
yeah, I'm a little guy. I'm small streamer. I'm on my own little corner of Twitch. I just want to set the example of what I would want to see in the world. You know what I mean? I've had so many people try to tell me like I've changed their life in a positive direction, and it means so much to me. And that I'm their Oshi, and like they look at me as the example of what they want to be, and it's like I just don't know what to say to it. Because it's like I know what it's like to look up to people, and I have so many people that I look up to as well. But like I'm just a little guy. I'm just trying to be positive. I don't know why what do you see in me?
For me personally, I think you do wonderful things to, and again, just glazing. Don't worry about it. I think you do wonderful things for the male presenting streamers, or at least VTubers, and you help dispel the. Sorry, that was me cracking open another monster. You help dispel the stigma around being a more male streamer, because we do have something of a stigma that people are like,
we do.
They're creepy. All they want is one thing, and it's like, no, we do the same shit everyone else does. We're just here to shit post and vibe. Like that's the.
I mean, okay, so
Most of us.
I'll crack open this can of worms because I've talked about it before. I do think there were, during the VTubing boom, there were some people who got into VTubing because they viewed it as an opportunity to potentially try to meet a partner. I don't necessarily, I think trying to meet a partner through mutual hobbies is not necessarily a bad thing, because that's actually a very natural thing. But I think you're doing it, you should not be getting into VTubing if that is your goal. Because there are, with feminine presenting VTubers, a lot of them have gone through experiences in their life, and for them, being a VTuber is an opportunity to be themselves at their most genuine, but simultaneously be themselves at their most vulnerable. And when they have the ability to make a community for themselves where they can be themselves and not necessarily have to deal with sexism or sexual harassment, and they feel like there's just an audience for them to be genuine or even sexually open, I think that is good. I can say safely, I think that is one of the best things that VTubing has done for more feminine presenting VTubers. For male presenting for male masculine presenting VTubers, I would say we do deal with a stigma. Misandry is a very real thing. I have experienced it. I have literally been told by some VTubers that they want nothing to do with me because I am a male presenting VTuber. And it hurts. It definitely hurts. Especially because that's not why I'm trying to be friends with you. It's because I really enjoy your content. I would like to get to know you better and be your friend and hang out with you potentially. And not because I have ulterior motives. It's just, unfortunately, in the day and age that we live in, there's just some people who spoil the bunch, some bad apples who spoil the bunch, unfortunately, and you just roll with it. But I will say, that is no excuse for misandry, and if it does exist in this space, and I would encourage anybody to like make sure you understand the border between establishing your own safe boundaries and thinking less of somebody by virtue of something that's completely outside of their control. Like if you're hurting people, if you're thinking poorly about people based on their gender, that's not cool. I think like I'm of the opinion that that's not very cool. We should judge people based on the quality of their character, not what's in their pants.
I would say that is very well put.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, like, there is a stigma around us. It is
Sure.
the way it goes. I think
It's the way it is.
it's the way it goes. I'm sorry. I have nothing more to add to that. It is so well put.
I'm not gonna call attention to past drama surrounding the VTuber community. I will say again that feminine presenting VTubers have the right, and they should always have the opportunity to feel safe and welcome and have a place where they can genuinely be themselves and express themselves in a place where they don't have to worry about somebody coming on to them and feel harassed or harangued or anything along those lines. The only thing that I would just say is, please judge people based on the quality of their character and not something completely outside of their control. Don't let the bad experiences of a few deter you from establishing genuine friendships and relationships, and give people opportunities to prove to you that we're not all looking for quote unquote that, you know what I mean? But as Aoki said, yeah, everyone should be able to feel comfortable and safe.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. So let me, because we've definitely gotten very far off from the questions.
Oh, that's all good.
So going back to what I was saying earlier, is there a moment this year that felt quietly important to you? Not one that you've publicized very much. I know you're a very open book though, so this might be...
Yeah, honestly, no, because I tend to be very transparent about how I'm thinking and what I'm thinking and how I feel about certain subjects. There's certain lines that I don't cross on stream, like talking about politics or anything along those lines, but I am of the opinion that I became a VTuber to be more honest, not only to myself, but to folks around myself and to random strangers on the internet, so that I could help break that shell a little bit, because I was not... Many people who have known me before I became a VTuber would probably tell you that I was a very private individual, and becoming a VTuber was an effort on my end to try to dispel that and to be more genuinely me. Even my Papa Possum, who actually does watch me occasionally, has literally told me verbatim that he has never seen... He feels like he's seen genuine me when I'm on stream, and he never knew I had that side of myself. And he actually told me that last year, so that actually might be my quiet success story, because I don't think I've talked about that all that much.
And because I am making a marker of this real quick, just in case Papa Possum sees this either on your channel or mine. Hi!
Oh boy. Hi, Papa Possum!
Just in case.
Just in case.
You've raised a wonderful son. I want to tell you that.
Oh, he would probably... No, he'd probably agree. He would tell you it was not easy.
It never is. Raising kids.
But it never is.
I'm not raising any kids, but I'm raising a niece and a nephew.
Sure.
When I see them, yeah, no, it's not. It's that moment of, can you please not put that in your mouth? And they're putting like a, fucking like Hot Wheels car in their mouth. You're like, can you not?
I want to make sure though, I have my flaws as much as any other person can or does have, and I acknowledge my flaws, and I try to rise above them as much as I can, and I think that's like critical for any individual. There are just some flaws I may not ever really be able to rise above either, and that's okay. I just think like it's healthy for an individual to acknowledge their own strengths and weaknesses and be able to say, this is what I'm good at and this is what I'm not so good at as a person, and that's okay. You're not supposed to be good at everything.
Exactly. you're supposed to be shit at some things. You have to be able to grow and learn as a person.
Exactly.
So, just to kind of break up the more heavier subjects that we've been getting into.
Sure.
Possum. I need to get a little bit closer for this one. Let me. I'm gonna leave my chair. Possum, are you in fact a stinky baby?
No! 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 Not a fussy baby. I'm not a stinky baby.
Okay, but Possum,
Not a baby.
I've had reports that you are in fact a fussy and stinky baby. What would you say to these allegations?
I would say I know where you live, and I'm going to set your house on fire. Take that. How's that for fussy?
Okay. So, just to make sure I'm understanding correctly, you're saying these reports are wrong?
Yes.
Okay, because I have it on good accord from Nuggy Nabbert that you are in fact a fussy baby.
Don't listen to Nuggy. He's wrong. The reports. No, they are. Do not listen to my chat. My chat is wrong. They're trying to troll me right now. They know exactly what they're doing. Chat, cease.
All right, chat. You've given me enough to where I can go back later, and I can clip this into saying I am a fussy baby. All right, we're good.
No. Unsurprisingly, somebody's already done that. So
no kidding.
Yeah. He does. No Pete's, Kissy. No Pete's.
He's a fussy
No
rat.
PT.
Okay, trance. Calling Possum a rat might be too far.
Yeah, trans. I'm a marsupial. Get it right.
I have to make a note of that one. I'm a marsupial. It's such a bar. It is such a bar.
I am North America's sole marsupial. Put some respect on my name.
Learned a possum is a rodent. He played RDR2 and it called opossums a rodent.
First of all, Red Dead Redemption 2 is wrong, and they probably thought because it's set in like, I don't know, the 1400s in America, and they didn't know what marsupials were back then, because like they thought we were rodents. But I'm not a rodent. I'm a marsupial.
Honestly, I have to go with possum on this one, y'all. I have to go with possum on this one.
Yeah.
I don't think he is a fussy baby. Maybe
No.
fussy at worst.
Yeah. Yes. I am very fussy. But I'm not a baby.
But 4 years old for a possum is quite old. We already established earlier he is unk.
I'm fussy unk status. Fussy unk.
Fussy marsupial. Okay, there we're getting there. Hello there,
Hi,
fellow
Funky.
zoo animal. I love that.
Yeah. You could throw me in a zoo. That is quite literally accurate. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm a grumpy old man. True.
Dog is like 13, but it's still a baby. A 4-year-old possum could be a baby. Okay. I think we can agree with that one, right, Possum?
I'm not a baby. No.
Okay. I understand. Fussy old baby.
No baby. Never baby. No.
Sure as acts like a fussy. Oh my god. The want to pin. You know what? I'm pinning that on my side.
I'm gonna destroy you, Rico. Gonna destroy you.
So, going off the back of that, what do you think is the most fun bit that you do with your chat? Just to bring the curtain, down a little bit. What is the one
Probably
you have?
baby.
That's the one you have the most fun with?
Probably fussy baby, yeah. It usually brings out my gremlin the most out of anything. To be that and Pete's. Chat wants to see my Pete's all the time. No Pete's.
I feel like if they band together, they could probably get the points necessary to do the show Pete's.
Honestly, I've already calculated how long I need to stream for somebody to be in my stream long enough to afford Pete's, and I'm gonna wait until like I know somebody can actually afford it, and then right before they get the necessary amount, I'm going to remove the redeem or increase the price on it massively.
Why did I really think you were gonna go like, okay, listen to me. I'm going to make sure they have the appropriate amount of points, and then I'm graduating directly after. Nope, done.
You know what? That too. Your channel points mean nothing to me. Only your suffering.
He's just gonna come back under a new name, new IP, same model and everything, and just be like, all right.
I'm gonna be Possum Awesome, but like on a different channel.
I love that. I love that. I feel like another great way to do that would be like they redeem and go show Pete's, and you immediately refund it. Like, what happened? What happened there, bud?
No, I wouldn't even refund it. I'd just be like, yeah, that's not happening. No Pete's.
Thanks for the points. Have fun, guys.
Yeah, I actually have literally calculated. I think the stream streaks might have thrown it off, but I literally know the amount of time you would have to be following me and like never redeeming anything before you'd be able to afford that. And I'm just making sure like nobody's ever going to be able to afford that redeem.
Okay, okay. And did you calculate in with the subscriber bonuses, or is this just straight follows?
Both. I literally know the amount of time that you would have to follow for that.
Can you send me it in a DM to let me? I would love to see how much time it actually is.
Later, because I have it in a notepad somewhere.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah. Gonna return as a moth or something. I don't know about that one. I think that'd be really
I don't
funny.
think it'd be a moth. It would be because like moths technically have no mouths, so like would I just be silent the entire time? Would I just like sit here and like, you know what? That would actually be a great concept. This like silent moth VTuber who just like stares at a lamp all stream, says nothing. Eureka!
Gotta wish Possum with the moth then. Wow! Wow!
I think that's the first time I've ever dropped an F-bomb on Rico.
I love that it cut off on my end. It just went, wow!
Rico!
You, Rico!
Rico just burned the shit out of me.
Hold on, I gotta make a marker for that one. It's just
honestly, kudos, Rico. That was a sick burn. I'm not even gonna lie.
GG.
Yeah, GG's. GGWP.
Okay. So this one isn't written down. I haven't asked this one of you before. If you weren't a possum, because I understand why you chose a possum, the internet's unofficial mascot, what would you have picked? What was option B, option C?
I did consider a character that I had in a previous game before. I was considering being a bat
remember
VTuber.
this!
Yeah, I was considering being a bat VTuber. I had this character in another game I played that was like a bat that had like a little sword and a poncho, and like had like one of my favorite designs, I think, of the many characters that I've played historically in games before. But ultimately, since that character was feminine presenting, I didn't think I'd be able to like do. Yeah, Trance knows the character because I actually played that game with Trance. And there would have been like that character was more feminine presenting, and I just don't think I would have been able to do it justice. And ultimately, the desire to be a possum on the internet won out. Thank you. You know what? Thank you, Trance. Thank you.
So I do want to revisit because I have seen it as a stream avatar for you before, or sorry, a stream mascot. Whatever happened to that one?
So, I think chat would probably ask the same thing. Like, where's Danny? Danny actually is coming back in part of Possum 2.5. He is chat's unofficial mascot. I'm calling them the Scrimbl. Officially, those little guys are called the Scrimblos. And it will be quote unquote Danny will be making a return as a TTS mascot, but also chat will be able to have their own customizable Scrimblos at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, I love
and
that.
the bucket on the head that it wears, the expression that it has, will be customizable for like angry, sad, mad on TTS. So that is part of Possum 2.5. A little sneak preview for chat.
Oh my god, I love that. I've been thinking about Danny more lately, and I'm like, I've missed him. I don't know where he is, but I need to ask about this at some point.
Yeah, you can have your own little trashy little Scrimblow guy, buckethead wearing fellow, and that'll be Possum 2.5.
I love that. And
Thank you.
2.5, you have a solid timeline for that?
I do not, mostly because there are so many different artists that are currently working on it, each with their own different timelines. So right now, it's all I've said is likely late 2026.
Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna say until I am solidly sure of the date and have everything ready prior to then.
Okay. And I do have to also ask, where did the term Scrimblow come from?
Scrimblow is a meme reference to possums. There was a meme of a mama possum carrying a bunch of their babies, because baby possums ride on a mama possum's back until they come of age. And I think somebody basically had the caption, "Look at this Scrimblow and her little bimbinis." And that was where the origin of Scrimblow comes from.
I also must ask, Possum, have you Googled Scrimblow since 2023?
I'm a little afraid, but I'm about to. Hang on.
You'll see it in the very top portion. That has to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
You know what? That's chat. Yeah. Honestly, I have never seen a more accurate representation. Scrimblow Bimblow, the lovable Skrunklow.
I'm apparently Scrimblow, for chat, if you haven't Googled it, is also a song by an artist called Young Shiesty. What?
Wow. I've never heard of that before. Scrimblow, the origin of Scrimblow, and like it's funny, if you Google Scrimblow, the meme actually comes up with the possum, a Scrimblow and her bimbinis. That does come up.
Yep, I've seen it. All right, there it is.
Yeah, that's the origin technically.
I love that. There is also another for it's on Reddit. Never trust anything you see on Reddit.
True.
It is
Never trust a Redditor.
Slang for cute person or animal. I love that.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
There was another part of that I am intentionally leaving out. So
That's probably a good idea.
yeah. All right. Let me get back on track because I'm more jumping around this just as they become relevant, because with two ADHD people, that is way easier.
Yeah.
That is
We're gonna go off
easier.
base a lot. We're gonna go off base a ton.
This happened in our first interview chat.
It's true. It literally did.
It got so bad we had to cut ourselves off and be like, all right, you have 3 more questions. Pick your favorites.
Yeah, because I had to go. I remember.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday, so we definitely had to figure out what a good stopping point was. So, what is something you want people to take away from your streams? I know feeling better is definitely a good one, but do you have a specific idea in mind?
Feeling better. I want you like if I'm genuinely honest, if there's anything I want people to take away, it's that I want you to feel better, not only just in general, but about yourself. Because there may come a day where I'm not streaming anymore, and I might like decide, I can't do content creation anymore for any specific reason. So my hope is that in the time that I can spend with people, that they leave every stream feeling just a little bit better about themselves, so that if there ever comes a time where I can't be here to be a content creator anymore, you just remember that that you have enough positivity in yourself to walk away and know that you feel good about the person you are, and that when things seem tough, better things are around the horizon. I know it sounds a bit cliche to say the same thing over and over, but literally is that kind of mentality is one of the real reasons I became a streamer, and is one of my sole motivating factors to continue streaming.
And chat, just so you know, Possum's gonna be here till the heat death of the universe.
Yeah, I ain't going anywhere until it becomes no longer tenable for me to stream. I am quite literally not going anywhere. I love streaming. I love being able to make people feel better about themselves. It's entertaining. Some days I'm just really tired and my heart's not in it. But I love it, and I love the person that it's made me to be. So my hope is that I can also help inspire people to be the best person that they can be too.
So, speaking of what, your community would like take, or what you'd like your community to take away, focusing more on the community, what is one thing you would like to do with your community? Whether that be play certain games with them, one day a meet and greet through, VTube Studio, or what have you, really?
I have never done a subathon or any kind of marathon.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not, in terms of time, it's not a tenable thing to do. I would love to do some kind of it doesn't even need to be a subathon, just some kind of like marathon, where we can have incentives and I can just hang out with them, and we just keep on going and going and see how long I can last and do things. It would be a huge test for me, and I think it would be a fun thing to do. I just know that, like, in terms of time and energy, it's not tenable with working a full-time job as I have since I've been a streamer.
Oh yeah, doing subathons is a lot crazier than you'd think. Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Sorry, Moth just got home.
No, it has your name on it.
If this is what I'm thinking. By the way, Possum says hi.
Hi! Yo,
Uh,
they sent us Dave's bill.
Nice. Oh, yeah, this one's for you, actually.
Oh,
What? Bye-bye.
Sorry, I got a package. This one's for Moth, actually. It's a late Christmas present.
Wow. Crimbo.
I think you doing a,
oh, that's so sick.
Gotcha. Okay. Possum is epic. I love that. Anyways, let me get back on track and find the questions that I really wanted to ask. You like it?
I like it.
Nice.
Uh,
Okay. I would love to see an Awesome Possum marathon one day, just because I think that would be really cool, but let me get back to this real quick. So,
Okay.
looking back, how would you change your earliest content? Whether that be from your start of content creation or the early days of Possum.
Oh, there's so many different things I would do knowing what I know now.
Let's pick your 3 biggest ones.
I think the 3 biggest things that I would do is I would have put more emphasis in creating short form content on YouTube, and like learning the intricacies of how to do that before. I'm still really bad about it. That is one thing. Knowing what I know now, I would also, if I learned like how to be wary of people who approach you with bad intentions, I think that is another thing that I would try to teach my past self, or like looking into what I know now, because not everybody. There are some people in this space who are definitely looking to use you sometimes, and it's not always easy to figure out who those people are. And number 3, I would probably say, about my content that I'd change now. I don't know. It's funny. I haven't really, and this might sound crazy, I haven't changed the way my content works since I've started. You know, I always yapped and hung out with my chat at the beginning of stream and then jumped into games. I would probably have spent some time getting assets made that would support more streams where I could just yap or, you know, occasionally react to content that my chat gives me. You know, breaking that mold. I think I would make myself a little bit more versatile in terms of the quality, not the quality, but the kind of content that I make routinely.
Okay, I can definitely understand that. Funny enough, you were actually one of my biggest inspirations for taking that time to address my audience in the beginning. Started off with
Really?
like 5-6 minutes. I'm up to about 30 to 45 at this point.
I think it's important for any content creator, just like, no, hang out with your community. Like even like on things like Discord, some streamers I have realized like they make a Discords because somebody tells them like, hey, you should have a place for your community to hang out with when you're not on stream. Sure, but like ultimately remember that your community's there to hang out with you and chat with you and converse with you, right? Like you're a main linchpin for your community. So you need to engage with them. You need to, like, even if it's just reacting to the things that they like post, like you have to engage. Like you never turn off the you never have an off switch. Like engage with people, like chat with your community. Like you can't just say, all right, I'm done stream. I'm never gonna engage with them until I'm back on stream. Like it doesn't work that way as a
Exactly. You have
content
to
creator.
have some kind of engagement outside of your normal streams and your everyday activities. Like
Exactly.
even just checking in the morning, just saying good morning to everyone. How are we doing?
And we do that. Like I do that. I have people in my community who do that because it's important for me to do stuff like that, like to really, hey, are you guys holding up all right? How are things, and how are you guys feeling, and all that stuff.
So speaking of your community, I know I keep going back to the same the same way. Hi Moody, good to see you. What is the most unhinged thing your chat has done in this last year?
Most unhinged thing.
Positive unhinged thing.
Sure, I'm trying to think.
I bet you
Positive
Rico's got something in mind.
Probably. I'm trying to remember if my chat has done anything positively unhinged. You know what? It's not really unhinged, but like my chat literally made me cry this year because they sent me something similar to a kudo board for my birthday,
Aww.
and I had a ton of people who left me messages, even some people that I don't routinely speak to, and some people that I did not expect that would sign it. Came and told me like how much I meant to them as a friend, and like that they hoped I had the best birthday ever. And the reason that was so important to me was because there have been, I would say, like 2 or 3 points in my life where my birthday was literally forgotten by people, including some people in my family. And I have a distinct memory of being 16 years old and sitting in my room and like, it's gonna sound kind of sad and corny, but like literally wishing my own, like saying happy birthday to myself, because at least I needed one person to wish me a happy birthday. And having all of the people that in some form or way that I've impacted, and have them say something nice to me and wish me a happy birthday, made up for all of those times that I've had even my own family forget my birthday.
Oh yeah, no, I fully understand that. I had a very similar experience for my birthday this year. It was
Really?
I had so many people send me stuff on a kudo board, and I spent the actual like 12 o'clock hitting on the 24th as with stream, and I cried on stream because I was like I hit an age I never thought I would. Number one, but number two, I have this distinct memory of on my birthday, back up when I was living up north, hanging my own birthday decorations, and just going like,
Yeah.
I'm doing this for someone else to celebrate with me, and they never
Yeah.
came home. So when I had that moment
Mm.
on stream with people, I was like, this is a very impactful moment. I'm not going to forget this anytime soon, and I appreciate everyone that stuck by to say happy birthday or even just lurk. It meant the world to me.
Exactly. Before I became a streamer, I had apparently, and this kind of means a lot to me too. There was somebody who I rarely ever spoke to. They were like a passing acquaintance, and I've had this tendency for as long as I can remember, especially online, where I would just, send a DM to somebody and just be like, hey, we don't talk all that much, but just figured I'd send you a hello. Hope everything's doing well. I hope you're okay. If not, if you need to talk to somebody, I'm here. And what I found out was, content warning, suicide. I had found out that I had DM'd somebody when they were literally in the process of committing suicide because they thought nobody cared and they thought nobody would have cared if they were gone. And they saw my DM and called 911 to go to the hospital to get their stomach pumped because for some reason I, as a random person, just wanted to reach out and hope that they were okay. And I found out about that years after it happened. And now that person is married, has kids of their own. And when I found out about that, I cried because it's like, you know, sometimes just the little acts of kindness that we can do to each other can literally save a life. And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it because that was definitely not my intention, reaching out to them and hearing that I'm the reason why there is not just one life still staying in this world, but now there's, you know, 3 more lives in it as a result. Really hits you, I think, in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's those little moments that you don't realize, like, it was a passing thought for you. Like, oh, I should check in on this person. That meant the world to someone else.
Yeah, it saved their world. And it's just kind of nuts.
Oh yeah, it's certainly wild to think that
kindness.
There's a child in the world because of you, and not in the normal way.
Yeah, not in the normal conventional sense, but like, you know, they've had 3 kids, and because of me just doing that random act of kindness, those small acts of kindness, I have allowed, you know, or not allowed, but like helped bring 3 lives into the world as a result.
Oh yeah, and it's very humbling to find those kind of things out.
Very, and incredibly grounding too.
All right, I know we don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm picking through the questions real quick. I do have
Oh, good.
2 more that I want to ask.
Okay.
One is a shit post, the other is serious. So
Okay.
How was the Foxhole War? At least what you can tell us about it.
So I'm not participating in this current war in Foxhole because it is a short war. However, the next war in Foxhole is going to be dropping a new DLC where airplanes are now officially in Foxhole. And no one cares. Thank you, Thief. Yeah, and no one cares about the current war. Because Airborne is literally coming out next month, and I will be playing pretty heavily in that war, provided one side isn't grossly stomping the other, but I doubt that's going to be the case. It is going to be an entertaining thing, but in case anybody was curious, Collies lost the last war. They won the one before then. But Collies have been kind of consecutively losing because balance in Foxhole is kind of in an awkward place right now. Not in a massive way, but Wardens definitely have a bit of an infantry equipment advantage over Collies, and it's definitely impacting the perception of balance and morale right now in the game.
Completely understandable. You play for not the Wardens, the other side, usually.
I play as a Collie, aka a Colonial. But I have played as a Warden because I'm a firm believer that with games where there's talk about like balance, if there's 2 sides, you should try to play both sides if there's any like kind of difference between them, so that you can be a better player for your one side. Foxhole is a isometric war game. For those of you curious, the wars last like 30 to 40 real life days. Everything that's made in the game, from guns, tanks, artillery, everything's made on the back line, shipped to the front lines, and it's a really interesting game and probably one of my most commonly played games on stream.
And you tend to involve yourself in... wow, that sounds fucked up. you tend to involve yourself in those kind of armed conflicts, whether it be Helldivers, whether it be Foxhole. You've definitely been doing a lot of good in the Galactic War. I will tell you that as well. You brought in new soldiers.
Yeah, I have brought some people into the Helldivers Corp. I was playing with my good friends Rico and Alan, who are fantastic streamers.
Love them.
I just like, for some reason I've always gravitated to strategy in war games, mostly because I like the concept of outsmarting people. That sounds kind of mean in some respects, but like there is no better feeling for me than like saying gotcha, gotcha, like, and just having that moment of like triumph when you're able to be like ha! And you just pull something off like really clever and really strategic. Like it's like a minor little high for me. So for some reason I've always gravitated to war games. But I like some I like, some I don't. Like I don't really care for Call of Duty, but like I love games like Squad, things that are more tactical and strategic rather than like run and gun stuff.
The Ready or Not stream win.
It's a good question. I feel like I could potentially play Ready or Not with like a collab, but it's definitely not one of those games where I would play solo.
Well, if you'd ever like to do a Ready or Not game, I would absolutely love to.
Sure.
I definitely understand that about outsmarting people. I feel the same way in Tarkov, especially with the bosses.
Exactly.
Personal preference above all else.
Yeah.
So just because I would, you know, don't want to, take up too much more of your time. I know we still have questions to do with the community and everything. What is something you'd want to say to your audience as a whole, if you could address each and every single one of them?
I'm making myself massive for this.
Hold on, I got you. Let me...
First off, I'm not a fussy baby, okay? I'm not a rat. I'm not stinky. Okay, I am stinky, but I'm not a baby. But the other thing that I want you to take away is, for each and every single individual, who, whether you've been here for 5 minutes or close to 5 years, I care about each and every single one of you. Thank you for being a part of my community for as long as you have. I say this a lot, but of all the people that you could hang out with on Twitch, the fact that you choose to hang out with me means the world to me. You guys have changed my life in such a positive direction. I do not think I would be the individual that I am today without having the positive experiences that I've had with all of you. I have made so many fantastic friends that I would not trade for the world. And I hope that you guys, even if you decide one day I'm not the kind of streamer that you want to entertain you anymore, my hope is that in some small way or form, I have inspired you to want to be a better person, that I've inspired you to want to chase your dreams and aspirations, and that you can remember and realize that there's always somebody silently rooting for you, even if I don't know who you are, or know you, outside of here. Just know that I'm rooting for you and care about you. And I want you all to succeed and be happy and content with your lives, just as happy and content that you've made me for just being here. And that's it.
I think that is a wonderful way to really put that. I think I made you a little bit smaller by accident. Hold on.
It's all good.
All right. I will set up the timer real quick, so I will give 5 minutes to everyone so they can ask any questions they'd like. That was a lot of time. Hold on.
Way to make us cry. Aww.
So, chat, you have 5 minutes to ask any questions you would like to. I'm going to take this
Ask
second.
any questions.
Possum, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a lot of fun. You are my first re-interview, and I'm glad that I was able to get you on.
I'm honored.
That's the other fun thing with Possum. Even when I had under 200 followers, he still checked out my DM and agreed to do the interview. He's,
of course,
a wonderful person that I appreciate a lot, and I personally look up to a lot.
Look, I don't look at streamers like stream size. If I like the vibe of somebody, No, you're not getting Pete's, Trent. No Pete's.
Moth, we actually did cover that earlier.
Yeah, we did cover that earlier. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just the kind of person that you are is what really matters to me. Yeah, we did kind of cover that. I said I had a character in another game who was like a bat character. Trans and some others know what the character looks like. I can actually post a chibi image of what that character looks like on my Discord for those curious. Just somebody remind me that I owe that picture.
Absolutely. We got Pete. You did not get Pete. You did not get Pete.
No Pete's.
I'm sorry. Fetish streamer in all caps is amazing. Hold on. I'm grabbing that as a screenshot.
Of you know what? Of all the people that could say that in my chat, Haru is we should expect that from Haru. Haru's a little unhinged, but in all the best ways.
I am grabbing that as a screenshot. I need that in my life.
Actually, I need that screenshot too, so that I can just like post it to Haru's DMs with like zero context, as well as anywhere else that like Haru and I are like hanging out with other people. I'm just gonna post that image.
I got
no
you.
context.
I got you. Hold on, I'll grab that right now. You just showed him? No. You were imagining things. I'm sorry to tell you. There's no such thing as Pete's. The Pete's don't exist.
Yeah, no Pete's. Pete's don't exist. Not a real thing.
Alright, grabbed it. I've gotten so much better with Microsoft Paint because of streaming. Like, there you go, Possum.
I've honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I've learned from becoming a streamer too, more than I care for regarding social media and graphic design. And ironically, in what I do outside of here, I've been tapped to do graphic design and social media stuff because of what I've learned doing what I know as a VTuber. It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, there's wild things that you just learn through VTubing that you're like, huh, didn't know that was a skill I was developing this year.
Yeah, didn't know video editing, audio design, all this stuff is stuff that I was going to be developing at any point in my life.
So Possum, I have to ask you on the video editing side of things, cut or keyframe?
Ooh.
I'm a keyframe person.
I think keyframe. Yeah, I'm not a great editor, but I think keyframe is. I've definitely used that more.
It's just more versatile.
Trance asked Papayasu or Ao Nishiki. I'm a huge sumo fan, by the way. I love sumo. Ao Nishiki is probably my favorite sumo tori. I would say Ao Nishiki. Trance. I love Papayasu. His real name is Takayasu, but he's like 35, 36 years old and still kicking butt. I would say Ao Nishiki for sure.
Whichever one hits harder. That's True. My answer.
Yeah, Papayasu literally he looks like he's a dad.
By the way, chat, you have 50 seconds to ask any other questions you would like to. If you have a burning question in the back of your head for Possum, ask it now.
This is it. Ask now or forever hold your peats.
Because,
it
yeah.
can be anything.
Possum,
except anything that doxes me.
Possum, what is your social security card? And I need I need your credit card information and your mother's maiden name. Definitely.
XXX tac XXX tac XXX. And honestly, if you want my credit card, go wild. I think it's like literally turned off because I never use it.
Would you be? Hold on. Would you eat the red guy if given the chance?
Yes, you are. The red guy.
Are you referring to me?
Oh, would I eat happy?
I'm not a candle.
The opportunity. No, I don't. I'd probably get heartburn. He's an incubus. I'd probably get heartburn. Yeah, I'm not down for that life.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's good for either of us. I don't think that's good for either of us.
Ask your question, Habu, or forever hold your peats.
The peats that don't exist.
Ooh, Petrichor asked, "What's your favorite game to watch videos about that you've never played?" I know the answer to this because that's actually a common thing with me.
Okay.
Probably. Ooh.
Man, y'all got him with this one. Damn.
Yeah. Probably. Or maybe no, because I did play Resident Evil Outbreak, but I didn't play a lot of it. Resident Evil Outbreak, like I played a little bit of it, so like it doesn't really count as me having a chance to play it. But yeah, probably Resident Evil Outbreak. Old game, ahead of its time, came out too soon. If it came out now, it'd be great.
Possum, you
No,
love
you can't
me,
borrow
right?
$20.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Supa, I'm sure Possum would let you borrow $20 if it was at 1,000% return rate. So you would be
Yeah,
giving.
are you gonna give it back?
Are you gonna give it back with interest? And the interest is applied after the first 2 hours. So.
True. Like it's gonna go from 20 to 20,000 and part of your left kidney pretty gosh darn quickly.
Yeah, you know what? I will take your firstborn, your car, the house that
Yeah.
you have, over $20.
You got
That's the thing.
you give me naming rights over your firstborn child.
So, for that one, I will say probably 40K for myself. Just as the board game
Really?
itself. I'm getting into the lore, but I'm also like, man,
Okay.
this is absolutely crazy. Holy shit! What
What's
do you
your
mean?
favorite chapter? Go.
Favorite chapter probably Salamanders. I know it's basic, but they're
It's a safe answer. Sure.
Salamanders are the Blood Knights, just because they're insane. Like,
the Blood Angels or the Blood Knights?
sorry, the Blood Angels. Blood Angels. I'm still learning.
I mean, technically that's a safe answer too, because they both care about the people of the Imperium, but like understandable.
If we're going
No,
with just
Rico.
favorite in general, like faction, Deathcore.
Sure.
Holy shit, the Vrax Siege, insane reading.
Yeah.
Insane
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah, the Death Corps of Krieg are they're a faction within the Imperial Guard. They're a regiment. They're known by their typical gas masks and the fact that if there's a regiment to kind of get things done and where failure is not an option, you call in the Death Corps of Krieg.
Oh yeah, how do I put this? They're the ones where if you have a problem, you throw them at the problem until the problem either
Yep.
doesn't exist anymore or it's fully solved.
Yep. I do love 40K. Technically, I haven't really played the 40K tabletop as much either, so that could be the same answer for me too.
Okay, same question goes to you. Favorite chapter? I will be
without
writing this
saying-
down.
Without saying the Salamanders or the Blood Angels, because I think those are pretty safe favorites, I would probably say Raven Guard.
All right, that is the next one I'm going to be looking into. All right,
Because
chat.
they like hit and run tactics and stuff like that.
Chat, no more questions. Everyone good? Everyone solid? Because
Yeah, everyone good?
you remind me of that one cat from Adventure Time. Are you referring to me or Possum?
Both, obviously. Both, yes. Both.
Iron Warrior? Okay, I'm writing that one down too.
Iron Warriors is an interesting one to have as your favorite, for sure.
Could you tell me a little bit about the Iron Warriors before we go? Just so I know what I'm getting into.
I want to clarify, Nuggy. Are you talking about like the Peter Turbos? Are you talking about like the Iron Hands, or are you talking about Peter Turbo's Chaos Regiment or Chaos Legion? Because like some people get them confused. So Perturabos. Okay, so yeah, the Iron Warriors are a traitor legion. Peter Turbo is all about siege warfare. He is a good architect and he was a very good builder, but he's just a whiny freaking man-child. But if there was any legion that was instrumental in the Horus Heresy and causing problems, it was probably his. They probably did the most amount of work.
All right, so I know exactly who I shouldn't read up on. We don't discuss heresy here.
Yeah. No heresy allowed in this Imperial Creed friendly household.
We love the Imperium here. Long live the Emperor.
We don't.
What does this say? I'm still learning. Is it Arcadia stands? Cadia.
stands.
Heresy. Yeah, heresy. Good old Peter Turbo.
Heresy. Blam.
We don't like heretics around here. That being said,
No!
if you ever want to play Darktide, whether it's on stream or off stream, you have a full invite. By all means.
No, I do like Darktide. I tend to not be the best at it though sometimes, but it is fun.
Oh, dude, you can't go wrong with. Basically, it's Left 4 Dead, but with heretics.
Yeah. I've played it. I've played on the highest difficulty, not Havoc, but I've played on like Damnation. I just tend to not be as good at it as I used to be, unfortunately. But maybe if I practice some more, I'd probably be better at it. But yeah, I could be down sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh god, we've.
You summon Nuggy. Nuggy loves Darktide.
Anytime
Nuggy
we talk about
loves
Darktide on my channel, it's like we're saying the trigger phrases for sleeper agents of like, what? I'm sorry. What did I hear?
Darktide. Hello, what? Yeah, somebody's gonna chime in, being super excited. Yeah, see, we got another one.
All
What's
right.
your class in Darktide that you like to play the most? Quick question.
Right now, veteran, but I am getting more into
Okay.
Psyker, and then there's another one that I just started playing that I can't remember the name of. I don't have any of the
Five
DLC.
Okay. Zealot.
Zealot, yes.
Zealot was my main go-to for a while. I used to play a stealth Zealot until they just unfortunately fundamentally changed stealth Zealot in a way that I no longer enjoy.
Better not be a zealot. Who's gonna stop me?
Zealot's
gonna stop me?
fun. It's fun just being tanky. You know what I mean? Because like you just eat hits and you don't have like even on higher difficulties you're allowed to make mistakes as a zealot and
Exactly.
if anything it makes you stronger.
So JD is our resident psyker in Ogren. He does really good as a psyker. There's something crazy about watching a dude point a stick at people and then lightning is just
And they just
they're
die.
Dead. They're dead.
I've tried many times to play melee psyker, but I'm just not good at it, unfortunately.
As I say that, JD opens up Darktide. He heard it, was just like, well, I didn't have plans for today. Woe be a rock punji. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna keep Possum here all night if we keep going. Possum, if there's someone you wanted to raid.
Are you going to be streaming or are we raiding out
Oh, we're
to
raiding
somebody
out.
else? Okay, why don't we, let's see, let's find somebody who we can surprise, I'd say. Why don't we raid who? This is kind of hard.
I do have one person if you would like to raid them.
Sure, who are we raiding?
Funny enough, it's another one of my Oshis. It is someone named Bunny Junie. She's an absolute sweetheart. She also has ADHD. I think it's worse than both of ours combined, but not in a bad way.
Damn, that's actually an accomplishment. Can you give me their name on Twitch and I will raid out to them?
Absolutely. I just sent it in your DMs.
Yay! All right, so I guess we're gonna be raiding out. Thank you, by the way. Thank you so much for having me and giving me this opportunity to talk and chat. It was a lot of fun. I'm distinctly honored to have the opportunity to have been selected for your re-interviews, and thank you so much. And if you guys don't follow Happy, please go give Happy a follow. They're lovely, as you can tell. And yeah, we'll get our raid message ready. Thank you so much for having me, Happy.
Absolutely. The pleasure is all mine. I absolutely love hanging out with you. It is always a great time. I look forward to doing more collabs if given the chance, and it's always great to see you. Thank you for the follow, Automatan. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Of course, we're going to be rating Junie, who is another ADHD streamer. Absolute sweetheart. Thank you again, Possum. Like I said, the pleasure is all mine. I really do appreciate giving the opportunity to re-interview you and do basically a checkpoint to see how 2025 treated you.
Thank you. You have a great day, Happy.
To you as well, Possum. To you as well. Take care, y'all. Thanks for having us.
Bye, everybody. Bye.